Looks like someone died.
Well, you know, always when we're on vacation, the good news comes out. And we were just finishing up before we were about to go take a bit of a week or two break. Because we were just finishing up on the stuff that we were putting out for the next couple of weeks. This broke. And, you know, we haven't been talking about this and all that because, you know, I considered this series dead to me. You know, we're talking about Doctor Who. I will only watch the older episodes of Doctor Who, especially the classic stuff from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. I won't pretty much watch any of the Chibnall stuff. I mean, I refuse to watch it. Since that first season that they brought in Jodie Whittaker, and how I was okay with it at first because I knew she was a good actress. I've seen her in many other things. You know, she was in Attack of the Block, and she was in Broadchurch. You know, and she was all round out actress on there. And then now she came over to Doctor Who, and how the BBC's been running this, how Chibnall, and how Jodie Whittaker has been acting, has completely destroyed. And just one episode alone, The Timeless Children, destroyed the entire series. I mean, this is the politics. This is the politics that's put into this. It's always situation. But now we're hearing from directly. This is confirmed, folks. This is 100%. You know, we've discussed this before. We've had rumors cross the mill that we saw this coming. We've been talking this for quite some time, and we knew this was coming.
Finally!
It's been discussed before, and now it's official from the BBC press office.
Finally!
The 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker and showrunner Chris Chibnall will be moving on from the most famous police box on Earth and the universe following the trios of specials for 2022. Yes, thank you. How is this going to go on for further? You know, I'm still not going to trust because it's the BBC. This is what the BBC is doing. This is, you know, the same organization that's losing thousands and thousands of licenses. You have to understand, in the UK, you have to pay to have television. I'm not talking about internet, I'm talking about television. You want to watch TV over the aerials and stuff like that, you have to have a TV license, and you have to pay for that. People have been canceling their licenses to the prefer they're watching stuff on internet. You may say, well, that's been coming from... No. That's not a situation. We're talking people that are elderly that are canceling their licenses. Okay? Elderly people are canceling their licenses. One more time there. Shows you that the programming on the BBC network is just horrendous. Every day there's another show that comes out that is just total garbage. Fucking garbage. I'm going to read a little bit into what the New York Post, I could have pulled the BBC article, but I think the New York Post says it all. The Doctor is out. The 13th Doctor is retiring her supernatural scrubs. The BBC confirmed that. Jodie Whittaker, who became the first female actor to portray Doctor Who, will end her run on the sci-fi mystery show in 2022 when the new season airs. Chris Chibnall, the showrunner who brought Whittaker aboard, will also leave the series. The 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and showrunner Chris Chibnall will be moving on from the most famous police box and the universe, as his Twitter press announced Thursday morning. Thankfully, thankfully. There are no fans there, thankfully. We'll get to see the pioneering 39-year-old UK native step into the box one more in the heavily delayed upcoming season, delayed for a reason, and it wasn't for COVID, slated to premiere at the end of 2021. She will also appear in a trio of specials in 2022 before the Doctor regenerates anew. And I love this part. This is the part that gets me. This marks the end of a memorable run for Whittaker and Chibnall. Yeah, the only memorable part of it is how shitty this is. Cast the actress as the female iteration of Doctor Who's taken over the detective series in 2017. The partnership produced critically acclaimed. I love it. Is it critically acclaimed? Nobody critically acclaimed this other than the freaking woke media. As Rosa, Demons of Punjab, and Spyfall, which were the worst 3 episodes of the series. Meanwhile, The 12th Century was voted best science fiction show by readers. No, they didn't. On the RadioTimes.com, beating out The Mandalorian, Lucifer, and The Boys per release. That was all political agendas there, Activision, because no true science fiction aficionados approved of this series. They did not approve of how this series went, and a lot of them pointed out all the major problems, especially those in the UK. If anyone who voiced the biggest amount of the voice in the fandom was the fans in the UK alone. Even though those here in the US said the same thing as well. This was a garbage seasons that came up on it. I gave it a chance. And people say, well, you didn't give it a chance. Yes, I gave it a chance. And I saw the writing on the wall. How this was portrayed. How they treated the Daleks. How they treated every other character in this series. How they wanted to change the TARDIS at one point. They still may do it. Remove the police box name. This is ridiculous. I mean, there are so many people turning in their graves. Terry Nation, Douglas Adams, and most of all, the woman behind the series itself, Verity Lambert. Verity Lambert is the producer of this series that brought this series together. She was the one, a woman, that executive produced this series, the first woman in the BBC network, mind you. This broke a glass ceiling many years ago. See, this is why we tell you. And they say, well, there's never been a woman producer or a director, no a showrunner or any of this nature, stuff like that, ever before. They lied to you. Nobody praises Verity Lambert other than the fans of the accomplishments that she did, of what she brought forward in the show. We would have not had Daleks. We would have not had, really, we wouldn't have had a Doctor Who series without her. Not one bit. Take a look at the Ventures in Time, the docu-movie that they made about Doctor Who. And it'll show you the background to this. It was not an easy series to create. I mean, they dumped this Doctor Who into the worst studio that you could think of in the BBC Studios network. Because basically, they were like, nobody cared about this. Nobody truly cared about this except for certain people. Certain people cared about this the most and pushed this forward. And it became a great series. And also we can't forget Sidney Newman. Sidney Newman, who's the man who hired Verity to do this job. Sidney had her back all the way. Even though there was some issues that, he didn't want bug-eye monsters, and at first he didn't take well to the Daleks, but then he settled in and liked it. This is why this series has been around a long time. People, my brother used to make fun of me. He's watching his Doctor Who and stuff like that. There have been fans all over the world. Why do you think the BBC is spending money trying to reconstruct all the older episodes? Reanimate them from the audio files? Because the fans love the old stuff. They love the way things looked back then. There's no turning back on this, of the destruction that you have. The only way you're going to save this series is to erase the 13th Doctor. There is a way, but they won't listen. They won't listen on that. The only way you're going to do it is that basically she wasn't the Doctor. And people say, well, no, you can't have that. You can't have that. She's a Doctor. She'll be the first woman Doctor. No. You could have had the first woman Doctor. Yes, you could have. But you didn't do it right. You did not do it right at all. There were many different ways you do it. And you were close to it. The Sarah Jane Chronicles was a good direction. Why didn't you use Romana? If you wanted a female Time Lord, you had the chance to use Romana. You know, there were many stories by Big Finish with Romana that could have been thrown in as it could have been a side series. They could have done it. But no. You had to go for all your political agenda. So don't let the door hit you on the ass as you go out the door, Chris and Jodie. So thank you for tuning in. So we have to applaud again. They're out of here. Well, we reached this part of the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, share. We'll see you in September. But don't forget to check out our latest videos, our summer edition videos that will be the next couple, will be on this channel in the next couple of weeks. And also be sure to look out for the season premiere of Saturday Pre-Flight coming September 16th. Thank you again for tuning in. Bye-bye now.
Well, bye.